This is Talking TV with Nick and Josh, and I'm Josh.
And I'm Nick.
You're on it. You're on it.
You on it.
You on it. You on it. You on it. That could be our intro.
You on it. Oh my god.
That'd be great. Good morning, Vietnam.
Wow.
This is Talking TV with Nick and Josh, and I'm Josh.
I'm confused.
As
I'm
to
Nick.
where we are,
Yeah.
we're not in Vietnam. But you gave me the bright idea about
It just reminds me whenever
a
you
minute
say
and
it.
10 seconds ago. So, yeah, thought I'd switch it up a little bit. We're going to be talking about the final episode
Sentencing.
in Season 1, Sentencing, September 8th, correct? It's 2002?
Yep. A 65-minute episode.
Yeah, yes. When you texted me that, I was like, oh, fuck.
Which, it's
I mean, it's not bad, but it's just, it's an
it's-
extra, basically like 20 minutes because,
No, it's like 10.
okay, whatever.
I think because...
Because I thought the other ones were around 55, 53 to 55, 53-ish.
Okay, so that's
yeah,
12.
Yeah, I don't know where I got 20 from.
Alright.
It's,
No, yeah. Like the last one, 12 was 56 minutes, so it's 9 minutes
yeah,
longer than the
that's all
last
good.
one.
No
Yeah.
big deal.
Alright, so it opens up in the hospital.
Correct.
Kima. Kima's waking up. Well, I guess she's been awake, but,
Yeah.
but they're waiting for her. So you got Cole and Bunk sitting there. And they show her some mug shots.
Yeah. She can make out
Little man. He's like,
like he's trying to.
yeah, like, he
Well,
was.
because I'm sure he doesn't know. Like Bunk
Well,
doesn't understand or like know.
Yeah. I mean, no one's talked to her yet, so they don't know that she knows. Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, she can make out little man.
and because he tried to snatch the cash off the dashboard.
Yeah, said that he was up front trying to get the cash
No
off.
wonder they shot his
Yeah.
ass. But she can't make out Weebay.
No.
And
she won't.
and
And she won't do it. I think that's cool because. But I wonder if the roles were reversed. Like, do you think she would be doing the same thing, Bunk? Trying to get.
no, I think this stems back to when she feels like, remember when she like coaxed Omar into being the witness?
Yeah.
And then Lester's like, look, we know he probably didn't see it.
Yeah.
But like we know that this is what happened. So whatever. What I was thinking of too when you were talking is like, so if McNulty says, hey, is Sidner up on the roof? Kima's saying, no, he's
Yeah.
not up on the roof. That's just the way she plays it. I don't agree with it. I think she should have fingered Weebay right then. But it didn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter that she fingers the little man either because he's dead.
Oh, no, that's true.
So, Bunk and them don't know that.
No, yeah.
So,
Bunk kind of motions for Cole to leave, then he like starts talking to her.
he just like moves like 4 steps to the right and looks out the window.
Well, yeah, but it's
I'm
just
like, that's good.
Well, I mean, they were talking low and shit. It's not like
Yeah, but I mean,
he went to the other side so they could whisper.
Yeah, I guess.
He says they found the DNA in a sweatshirt, like
Found the fingerprint on the soda can next to the payphone.
and then
Stringer bells,
they
pager,
and
with
Weebay's
code. Yeah.
But no guns, no witnesses at the scene, no prints from the scene. And then what does Kima say?
Sometimes I didn't write it down because I thought
You just said it.
Sometimes you just have to
things got to play hard.
play hard. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to butcher it, and then you just made me butcher it.
Well, I thought you were all excited to say it before, so then
No.
my bad.
I just like how she said it, I thought that was gangster of her.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes... See, I can't even tell you right now.
Yeah, sometimes things just got to play hard.
Yeah, something...
What?
I'm sure stop.
So then the quote of the episode is all in the game. It's traditional West Baltimore.
Yeah.
No idea where this came through. Never saw it.
It's at the very end. Omar
Right.
says it.
Really?
Says it twice at the very end when he's got the gun in the fucking dude's face.
Yeah, I missed the whole thing.
He's like, it's all in the game, baby. It's all in the game.
But he's not the traditional...
I think traditional West Baltimore is just like, that's just something that people in West Baltimore say. Because I was confused as fuck. I'm like, traditional West Baltimore? I'm like, that's not a character. So when I heard it at the end, when Omar says it, I was like, oh, that just must be like
I didn't even
something
catch
that West Baltimore
I didn't even catch.
say.
I didn't catch. I mean, everybody in this whole thing says it's all in the game, but I guess I just didn't put two and two together when Omar. I think I was just glad that we were done with season one. It was kind of like accomplished.
No, yeah, definitely.
So like, I didn't even put it together.
I mean, and it's taken a little while, but we've made it work.
Yeah.
Clearly. We're not even in May yet.
No.
So we're shaking and moving and shaking.
All right, so we go to the towers. Herc is on the phone.
Yeah.
Says he snatched everybody up, but CCO, I don't know who CCO is.
I have no idea.
Carver's walking up. He says he's got Ronnie Moe. Basically, they're just showing that they're arresting everybody.
Right, and they're just fucking, like, throwing everybody in, and then Carver comes up and he's, like, talking to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, sir.
Oh.
And Carver's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, yes, sir.
Herc's such an idiot.
Well, but that's a Herc move.
Yeah. Even
Like, all the way, that's a Herc move.
Call me sir before I'm even sir.
Yeah. He's like, well, when I become lieutenant,
which makes his
sergeant, not lieutenant.
Makes his disappointment even worse.
He's like, that's going to be standard operating procedure.
He's such an idiot. So then it goes to the basement. And Perez is updating the board. Daniels asked for like a count. They said they have 12 arrested, 7 in the wing. Like Lester and McNulty are there too. And then basically they want to get up on something before they shut them down. But there's nothing to get up to, really.
No, not really.
And then so they're kind of talking about it, and finally, like, McNulty kind of mentions, well, let's take it to the feds. And they all kind of, like, chuckle at him.
Yeah.
Like, fucking McNulty. And I think Daniels calls him a piece of work.
I think he does. He's like, you're a piece of work.
Yeah, you're a piece of work, McNulty.
Well, and then they're talking about, well, I think it's Lester that says Avon will be out in 2 hours. Like,
yeah.
You know, he's not going to be in there for long.
No, well, I mean that's just bail. He still has to go back to court. I mean, it's not like just because you get arrested. I mean, that's
no, right? But and then I think it ends the scene. McNulty gets a call. It's Perlman.
Yeah,
says a public defender is representing D'Angelo Barksdale.
Yeah, and he's still a lawyer in New Jersey. So
yeah,
he's
still there.
Yeah.
And he says make sure you bring a tape recorder.
Yeah,
to Perlman.
So then it shows Avon getting out of jail. They posted $250,000, $250,000.
Yeah.
Bail. And then there's like, can you believe that shit? That's a lot of money we got to show. Like,
I mean, it is.
Well, yeah. But they show it. Like, what choice do they
Avon,
have?
Jesus.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not like they have choice.
Right.
So, like, why bitch about it, I guess. Avon asked if Levy's at the club, and they're like, no, we're done with the club.
Yeah.
We walked away from that.
Gotta get out of there. Can't go back there.
So then I guess they kind of meet him in the
parking garage.
I don't know whose parking is it. If it's, I kind of felt like it was Levy's parking garage, but I could totally be wrong.
Could have been.
And Levy's like, well, you have almost 20 people arrested, and Stringer's like, that's too much for a snitch. And then Levy says, it feels like there's a wire, which is kind of shows that Levy knows what's going on.
Oh, he knows his shit.
Yeah.
Like, I would almost consider him, like, one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's as crooked as they come.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Just a dirty...
He's a sleazy fucking lawyer.
Yeah. But he's good at it.
Yeah. So they're talking about, like, shit, and they realize the club is bugged.
Yeah.
Because he said he told D'Angelo in the office, and then they're like, oh, fuck, if they got that bugged, they got to say all kinds of shit.
Yeah, which they don't.
They don't know that.
Right.
They don't know when they bugged it. They don't realize they bugged it the second that he gave that order.
Like 14 minutes before
right.
he walked in.
And then Levy hands Avon a message from Weebay.
Yeah.
Who?
I thought it was funny because it said, "While you were out,"
Yeah.
like it was like a receptionist.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
That phone call cost Weebay quite a bit. So then they talk about they got to get all these guys out of jail and then become enemies.
Right.
There's
they're talking about they got to bail all of them out, right?
Yeah.
Stringer says,
yeah,
we
you have
get,
to.
We got to get them all out.
Or they'll all be like, oh no.
And he's like, that's a lot of bread to show or whatever. Again.
Yeah, but I mean,
Avon always worried about the money.
And he's got enough of it. That's the stupid
part. Yeah, I mean, fuck, if they're bringing in 25,000 from the... I mean, granted, they haven't had product, but if they're bringing in 25,000 a day from the pit, like, whatever it was, remember?
They already discussed it's over $1 million a day, so I don't think they're worried about some little fucking...
Well, Avon is, Jesus. So Levy tells him to spread it out among the families. So
I think he's more worried about showing that where the money's coming from, not spending the money necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I think it's more about where it's coming from, not just the actual spending of the money.
Yeah.
But they say, run it through families, use different bail bondsmen.
Yeah, don't use the same.
And then they ask about
That's a lot of different bail bonds. 20 different.
Well, and then they ask about D. And
he says he won't bark. He's family.
Bark or?
That's what he said. He won't bark. D won't bark. That's what Avon said. He won't bark. Meaning he won't talk.
Right. I didn't get bark.
I swear he said
I'll
that.
take your word for it. And he said he'll come around. So then we go to homicide and got Bunk McNulty. Bunk said, I saw your girl today.
Yep.
And McNulty asked how she was, and he's like, you haven't seen her yet? I kind of get why McNulty hasn't seen her yet, but it's like, fuck, at some point, dude, you gotta go.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta face it.
Yeah.
You know, she's alive.
Right. Right.
I mean, that should make you feel a little better, you know.
And then Bunk tells her that she wouldn't finger Weebay.
Right. And he kind of chuckled, like he thought it was funny what she said, you know, sometimes you just gotta, things gotta play hard.
They both did, yeah. They were like, fucking goddamn her.
He's like, and I pushed her hard or whatever, like,
you
know, to do it, but she just wouldn't do it.
And then Rhonda comes over and throws a fucking
and gives
McNulty a dirty look,
the dirtiest look in the world,
throws the tape recorder at him, and then smiles at Bunk.
Smiles and like rubs his shoulder.
And then he's like, "What the fuck did you do to her?"
He's like, "I don't know."
So then now we're where do we go next?
Avon and Stringer funeral home.
Funeral home. I wrote down mortuary, and I didn't think that was funeral home's cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's funeral home because they were talking to the people in the front room about caskets and stuff. This is going to be the new setup. That moment brought to you by Harley Davidson.
What the fuck? 10 o'clock, not even 9 o'clock in the morning, and people are driving down the street at 90 miles an hour in a Harley.
What can you say?
You know, it'd be great if a car pulled out in front of that guy.
Would we jump on that?
Going out there,
I mean, yeah. I guess it'd be better. No, I don't know. As long as no one drives through the front of your house or up in... Well, it'd be hard for them to drive up in this motherfucker.
Yeah, that would be kind of hard.
Front of the house, just nobody driving in the house.
It's just annoying. People fucking cruise down the street. Like when the kids were little.
I'm surprised they don't have, like, 39 speed bumps. Because it's a long strip.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of just fucking, you know, straight road. Like...
Well, when the kids were little, I never let them play outside in the front.
Hell no.
Because they would have just fucking got ran over by Mr. Harley Davidson.
Yeah. Or
anyways.
Mr. Mack Truck.
Yeah. Is he related to Glow Mac?
No. He's related to Mac Daddy.
Oh. Wow. All right. We took it way too far.
Yeah. It's okay.
All right. So, Avon and Stringer, they're at the funeral home.
Yes.
What's
What's Dee's mom's name?
Brianna. So they go up in this room. They're like looking around, being all. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, definitely. And Avon doesn't like it at first.
No.
He's like, it's too still up in here.
But then he looks out and see guys playing craps, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, this will work.
This is cool. It's still gangster.
We just need a safe in here."
He's like, we can get. Well, and then he starts talking like normal, and then Stringer's like, no, come whisper in my ear, which was a little gay, but.
But you like that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I do. I wish Avon would whisper in my ear. You'll have to listen to our top 10. We did a top 10. It'll be coming out after this. So
Yeah.
Make sure you listen to that. Give a thumbs up, like, and all that good shit. But yeah, so then he's like telling him, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, gonna be fine. Like, as long as you get a little safe up in here.
And they actually go outside.
Yeah, and when Brianna shows up, she comes in and she looks like that loud, obnoxious black woman. Like, she just looks like that. Like, and okay. I think that's what she is. Like, she's kind of like doesn't give a fuck. And
I don't get that at all.
No,
yeah, no, I get it as she's been around. Like she.
Well, I know, but I mean, like she starts talking, and they're like, yo. And she's like, damn, y'all motherfuckers just came up in this room.
She's
like,
got a fucking point. They haven't never been
no,
there
I know,
before.
that's what I mean. Like, she's like, damn, y'all motherfuckers are scared. Like,
she goes,
you've never even been in there before.
She goes, are you that paranoid?
Yeah.
Because, and maybe they should be, but, I mean, because you got to remember, they're not watching the show like us. They don't know what's going on.
Right.
But, yeah, so they go outside, and,
Avon tells her to go talk to D, tell him he's sorry, and says, I'll make it up. And she says, oh, you'll make it up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Which, and then she drops a most deaf.
Most deaf.
Which, I mean, did you get that? That's where D gets it from, because he probably says that like 60,000 times in season 1.
That's like his little tagline.
So
it's funny how you caught that.
But before, well, because it was like D saying it in a wig, for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean?
Dude, that might be
the best
his
cast.
real mom in real life. Like,
well, and so before they talked about all that shit,
Amazon's out front.
Recyclables.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Brianna is going to handle the money, and Stringer's going to handle the product.
Yeah, but Stringer or Avon didn't want that at first, and Brianna mentioned that we got you, like we're gonna take care of this, and Avon's like, nah, like I don't think about that. I don't think so. And Stringer's like, no, she's right, B. I think he says that.
You're just making shit up.
I am. But and then Stringer like agrees with Brianna and says, no, yeah, like
I found it odd that she has nothing to do with the first. Like,
yeah, she just like shows up like
10 episodes, 11 episodes, and now she's fucking running the money. And Stringer's like, "You're my partner," which I mean that doesn't last very long.
It is weird how they kind of just incorporated, like threw her in. Like,
I mean, she could have more to do with it, and they're just not showing her, I suppose. But,
I guess,
but whatever.
But she's living in that nice house and driving that nice car, so I don't think she was involved. I think she's just kind of getting involved now because her brother and her son are in trouble. So
it's Brianna to the rescue. Dun, 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 dun. No, I mean, I think she's been involved before. She maybe
because Dee says like when he's talking to Wallace, she's been around, like she knows.
Well, and also Dee says some shit in this big ass fucking.
Oh, in the 29-minute scene, where they're fucking interviewing him,
which is next.
Yeah.
So we'll go to New Jersey. All right?
Yeah.
So D'Angelo is talking with McNulty, Bunk, Perlman.
And his lawyer. I didn't catch her name, did you? I don't think it's relevant.
I think it was lawyer.
Lawyer.
Her name was L. Lawyer.
Oh, okay.
No.
L. Lawyer, New Jersey?
Yeah. So they start off. We'll do this off our heads, basically, kind of. So like, they start off, and he's like, "Yeah."
I have a half a page of notes, so.
Well, read them. So, I mean, so do I. But I guess what I'm saying, like the first part, we already know all this shit,
right?
And they already know all this shit. And then he's like, she's like, we've got all this. Perlman's
we
like,
need more.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, what else is there? And then they're all like, the murders.
And then they start throwing photos at his ass.
He didn't like those photos.
Would you? I mean, shit. I mean, that's fucked. I don't. I mean, even if I'm like the detective, I mean, obviously, probably I would be okay with it by that point. Like, if I've been a detective, but like, if you handed me a picture of a murder, like someone murdered, like I wouldn't want to look at that unless it was someone I hated.
I don't think it would bother me.
But I mean,
I don't. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I know. Like, if I knew if it was real life, like, this is just a show, so it didn't bother me, like, seeing them, because I know it's, like, fake. Like, those weren't, like, real murder scene pictures, but I think it would bother me if it was, like,
really,
real life.
You'd have, like, nightmares at night?
No, not nightmares, but, I mean, it would definitely be like, ugh, like, I don't want to see that shit. I'm fucking blue when you fucking turn this fan around. You're like, oh, Hess's pages are gonna fly all over the place today.
Fuck. So,
it's a picture of Nikisha Lyles and Wallace first, right?
Yeah.
And then Orlando and then they toss in Orlando.
Orlando's was pretty gruesome. Like, he was.
Well, we saw him like that though. Like, we legit saw him.
Yeah.
Sitting like that.
I mean, but of the pictures.
Yeah, I guess. I thought the one that really keyed on him was Wallace.
That's the one he flipped over.
Yeah.
Which actually probably looked the least, because he had like a little, like a tiny...
Well, he had a...
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the head, and then
one right here that looked like completely fake.
Well, I think it was all fake, but...
Well, I mean, like, it's looked like he picked a zit, and like it was bleeding, so... But basically, and then McNulty plays the tape where they're talking about Wallace.
Yeah, and he's like, "Y'all got that on tape?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yep."
And then,
so basically, at this point, they just start playing him like a goddamn fiddle, like, because he just starts.
But I think he wants to.
No, he does.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I don't know.
That which is why he, but not. I don't know. Originally, I was like, "Damn!" Like, I mean, because they just showed him those 3 pictures, and he was like, "Fuck it!" Like, oof.
But I mean, that's why he's there. That's why he's doing all this.
Well, yeah, because he told Levy and Stringer basically go fuck themselves.
Yeah,
and he knows that they're crooked and pieces of shit, and he doesn't want to be like that anymore, for whatever reason. And then now he's got this basically a public defender, a court-appointed attorney, and she doesn't like say shit.
No,
like the entire 29 minutes of this scene, like she doesn't say one word. So. But yeah, they're just going. You can tell he's feeling guilty.
Yeah, I like they show him like the little fucking like
the little pictures
of
Weebay and Little Man,
and like
he's in Philly and he just tosses it.
And he goes, "How do you know that?" He goes, "I dropped him off." Yeah, he goes, "I don't know where he stayed, but
yeah, Upper North End."
So then they ask him about Deidre. Which is
yeah. That was the last picture they showed him, right?
Yeah, but it was after Philly, so like it was.
No, yeah, I got that.
But because it was after they had talked about all the shit, he goes, "Well, what about this?" Because I think they thought he killed her, but like you did.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So then he explains how they played his ass.
Yeah. And he admits that he got played.
Yeah.
And basically
he brought her an 8-ball Coke, and then Weebay shot her.
Because she went to put it on ice. I didn't know that was a thing. Coke in the fridge? No,
Coke and heroin, because it's an 8-ball. Yeah, I don't know.
I never heard that, but... so yeah, and then he basically dimes on Weebay. And says that Weebay did it. Mm-hmm.
And he already told me he's in Philly, so you might as well.
He said his...
what the best line is when he said, "Why?" She comes out there naked. She answers the door naked, and he's like, "Yeah, she's teasing,
like teasing you.
You know
like
how girls
do." Well, maybe you don't know.
And then McNulty laughed. That shit was funny.
I think it was a fat joke.
Bunk gets the girls.
And then basically after that, he just says like, I grew up in this. This is how it is.
He said, "My grandfather was Butch Stanford."
Yeah.
You know who that is?
And they both looked at each other like,
"Yeah,
what? Really? Holy shit!" Like,
well, no,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, they knew who he was.
Yeah,
whoever the fuck. That's for the prequel.
He said he felt more free in jail than he did at home.
Which is not a good sign for him.
And he wants to be out of the game.
Yep, he wants to start over.
And they'll give him that if they can get what they need.
Which was, yeah. So
but, doesn't matter.
So, now they go to Daniel's home.
Yeah.
Daniel's and Marla eating dinner. Dinner.
What they eating for dinner? What they having for dinner?
Daniel's is...
That's some classy shit.
Alright, then you lead, motherfucker.
No, it's just funny.
I'm trying to continue.
Sorry, it's just funny.
Okay. Daniels and Marla are eating dinner, and I don't know what happens. I'm going to have to lead it to you.
You don't know what happens?
I didn't write it down.
He's just on the phone.
I'm just fucking with you.
I was like, Jesus fuck. I'm like, what? It's funny, I could not remember...
Marla?
Yeah, I could not remember her name for the fucking life of me. And I didn't feel like getting on fucking IMDb. So
you were watching it on your fucking iPad.
Yeah.
You can't, like, click over?
No. I had IMDb pulled up on my phone. But at that time, I had it plugged in and it had fell off the bed. So I was like, I'm just going to write his wife. I'm sure it'll come back to me.
Oh, that's funny. I do that sometimes, too, though. Like, I'll write something down and be like, it may not be
like,
a
we
name.
just blank.
It might not be a name.
Like,
it's not a name. It might just be a word.
Right.
And
well, there's. I mean, I did that. Like, I have multiple where I misspelled.
Oh.
Where I wrote make.
Yeah.
I wrote make and M-A-K. Didn't put an E on it. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
You're like, and then they match some stuff.
Yeah. Mac, me. Mac.
It says, and Daniel says he's bringing in a big case. Marla's like happy, and then she's like, "How do things go with Burrell?"
And then this is where he.
Or no, this will.
No, she says, "Is everything? This is even with Burrell."
Yeah,
now.
this will. Yeah.
And he's like,
Fuck him.
Yeah,
basically.
Again, and she gets this like look of terror on her face, like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what? What do you mean?"
And then he says it.
He's like, "If he has enough. If he wants me, he's got me. If he wants me."
Yeah.
And she's like kind of bugging out.
Yeah. And then he says like he doesn't want this too much stink like this case.
Well, he's almost became cocky when it comes to the whole Burrell thing and like.
Well, because he knows that like there's too much shit. Like
right.
You can't.
Well, that's what he said. He goes, "It's too messy," and they don't, and he doesn't want that.
Right. So he kind of has them over.
Yeah.
Over.
So he's got the leverage.
Yeah.
Which is why he cracked my.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So now we're in the parking garage in New Jersey.
Yes.
Perlman and McNulty are in the car. She's just going ape shit over there. This is a big fucking case.
It's like she was drunk.
I know, she was fucking annoying.
And McNulty even asked her, like, "Are you good to go? Like, are you good to drive? Like, I can take you home, and I'll bring you back in the morning or something to get in the car."
And then she wants to go federal. Like everybody, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
yeah, she says it's a career case. Like we can go federal, and we can just run with it.
Then he gets out of the car because she's getting in her car. He starts to apologize, and she just fucking attacks him.
Yeah.
And they start fucking
make out session and more.
Yeah. It's all good. You all right there?
Yeah, I just want to make sure motherfucker don't eat my feet or something. You know?
Are your feet made of lettuce?
No.
All right, I think you're good.
All right.
You know what's funny about this? Bunk's there. So did Bunk drive alone? Because he's not in the garage.
Or maybe he already went left.
Well, apparently.
Well, yeah. Or it could have been a mistake by them on, like, filming.
So, Bunk and Lester meet downtown Roy Brown.
Yeah.
So apparently this guy works for the phone company.
Yeah. I didn't know where it was at first. I was like...
Me either, but they mentioned the phone company
after,
where.
So, like, originally I wrote, pawn shop? Question mark?
Really?
Yeah.
You thought they were...
Well, I had no idea. I didn't know where the fuck they were.
Oh, so. You like the start of the scene.
Yeah, like, because I usually put where it's at.
I don't even have where it's at.
I was like, pawn shop?
So they need a trap and trace on Levy's phone from Philadelphia. And dude says it's going to take like 2 weeks if they can even do it.
Yeah.
And
then they're like, oh, they kind of like, okay, cool, like
whatever.
And then he's like, wait, isn't this where you're gonna tell me how important this is?
And then they tell him it's the undercover girl that got shot.
Yeah.
In the paper. So then, like, you see the guy's like, oh, I need to help you.
Well, and it's, I mean, you know, like
he's a former cop.
Yeah, and he's good friends with Lester.
Yeah.
So that always helps when you got, you know.
So now you got McNulty and Fitz talking in their cars.
Mm-hmm.
It tells them they aren't big on drug cases. Maybe take it to the DEA. But he says he can't. The bosses will find out. He's like, "You're doing this without telling your bosses?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's the way I roll, dude."
He does. He's gangster.
And then he's like, "Who would be there?" He's like, "Me, Daniels, and Freeman." He goes, "I can speak for Daniels, brother."
Yeah. Well, because he gave him a look like
Yeah,
Daniels.
Daniels, the guy who we know stole money now.
Yeah. But it's all good because McNulty will vouch for him.
Yeah. So now we're at the copy shop. Stringer sitting there, and some dude walks in, asks for 10 copies, but he's got this giant bag. Stringer asks if there's any problems, and he said no. And then he leaves the bag.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, sir, you forgot your bag."
And didn't pay for 10 copies either.
No. And then Stringer takes to the back. It's full of
unprepared heroin.
product. Yeah. It's got so it's not street ready. So then
Right.
he's like telling the guy that comes back there, who I don't know who that was.
I didn't know either.
He's like, all right, you're going to have to mix it with this and this, and you tell him to do this because it's not street ready. And because Avon's already said he wants it strong, he wants it to knock them out their ass and stuff. It was interesting that they would just do that at the copy shop, you know?
Well, he called that guy back. The way I interpreted it was because he said, you're going to have to show everyone's going to have to do their own. So I think the guy took the bag and went around to play, and they had to make their own. Like, I don't think I get what you're saying, though, like, that they dropped it there, you know?
Yeah. That was like the stash.
But I think it was a most least expecting place, or at least Avon or Stringer thought that, you know?
Yeah, for now, until they figure it out. I mean, because Orlando's wasn't suspected either until they figured it out.
No, exactly.
So, so now we're at the FBI. They're going over the Barksdale case. They want the suppliers. They said they need an OC target, which is organized crime.
Right. Which I don't understand how you don't consider this organized crime.
Because it's local. There's no, one...
I mean, I don't know what organized crime charges consist of, but, I mean, they're pretty fucking organized.
They're organized, but it's not the mafia.
I know.
It's just local guys running a tower.
I know.
It's not.
Well, they got more than a tower, but... I know, I'm just saying, though.
It's not fucking the mafia.
I know.
It's not the Russians. It's not... Yeah,
the Greeks.
It's not what they want.
Right. I got you.
You know, it's local...
Petty.
West Side.
It's petty to them.
To them.
Yeah. To the feds, it's petty.
To McNulty, it's fucking the greatest crime of the century.
Yeah, it's like catching Osama bin Laden.
Yeah. They want corruption, and Daniels is like, "What kind of corruption?" And
shoots Lester a look like
we got a little corruption.
Which I don't know what he was trying to go on there.
You don't know what he's trying to go on.
Well, with like corruption,
the fucking Clay Davis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's corruption.
Yeah.
So then we go to the pits. And Bodie and Poot, and apparently some dudes took their spot.
Yeah.
Onion. I don't know who the fuck Onion is, but he's one of the guys that took their spot.
And they roll up on a fool.
And this is where Bodie gets the slow motion treatment. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, only Bodie and Avon have got slow motion treatment.
As far as I can remember.
We'll have to keep track of that a little bit.
Be
Avon's had slow motion a couple times.
3 times, I think.
I know the one time in the pit.
The one time at the basketball game.
Was it the basketball game? Oh, when he wagged his finger.
Yeah. It was that, and then later
and
on
this
this.
episode.
So I think it's 3.
And then Bodie got one. Did you catch it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to not catch slow motion. You're like, it's going.
Well, then he just walks up and swings the bat on the motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, he's in a spot.
And it didn't really do much to him.
It fucking knocked him over.
Well, but I mean,
He hit his legs.
he had to do it again.
He hit his legs.
And then Poot was even kind of mixing up. He swung the bat once.
You were watching Poot?
I watched it. I rewound it.
Why?
Because I wanted to see if Poot actually did anything.
Oh,
He swung the bat once. And he was behind Bodie the entire time.
did you see the big motherfucker behind Bodie?
Well,
With
yeah,
the
and I
glasses?
was like, I'm like, dude, these guys must be pussies. Because there was like 6 or 7 of them. And it was just Bodie and Poot and some other tall motherfucker.
No, there was a couple guys.
Oh, were there?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you probably should have saw that if you really rounded. There's some big. There was a big fucking dude,
Yeah.
but next to the guy with glasses, he looked tiny. Like he was huge compared to Bodie, but like they got like a raven.
A raven?
Like it was like Ray Lewis behind that
Oh,
motherfucker.
Raven.
Yeah, not a.
I got you.
Not
I
a
was
bird.
Like, what are you talking about?
They're like, I
Were the
saw.
Ravens even there? Yeah, they were. 2002.
We already did this, didn't
Yeah.
we? Oh no, that was the Orioles.
Yeah.
No, okay, they didn't get a cold. I can tell you that.
No, I know it's not that old. Jesus.
Um.
But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny that they.
So then,
And then they run them off.
well, and then it flashes to Carver and Herc watching in the car, and Carver's like, "That's why we can't win. If they fuck up, they get beat. If we fuck up, we get pensions." Just pretty funny. So then, now goes to the hospital. McNulty finally comes to see Kima.
Yep.
Gives her shit for Weebay right off the bat.
Yeah.
I heard your shit for a witness
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And Kima immediately asks where we're at.
He says the wire's dead.
Yeah. And then she says, nobody talks to me about the good shit.
Or because he asked, Daniels didn't tell you?
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Nobody talks to me about the good shit. And then Cheryl doesn't like it.
She storms out.
Yeah.
And Kima says,
He said, what does he say? Daniel's something I wrote down. And then Feds maybe. And then Cheryl gets up and leaves and says, fuck both of y'all.
And Kima says she wants me to quit. I told her I would legitimately think about it. And then McNulty gets all emotional.
Yep.
And kind of starts tearing up and basically says that he feels bad. He feels guilty because he can't go undercover because he's not black.
Yeah, which we talked about
Yeah.
when he was upset the first time.
So, and he says if he could do it over again, he would do it differently, right?
Well, and then before I think he even finishes, she said, if I could do it over again, I'd put more tape on that fucking gun. Which is just kind of shows where she's at.
No, yeah. I thought she said she wouldn't tape the gun.
She put more fucking tape on that gun, yeah. And then she said, she said something about, since now you're all my bitch and shit.
Yeah, since you're up here all emotional like my bitch or something. It just Kima, I mean, you could tell, like, even though she's in the hospital and fucked up, like, she's still in good spirits. Like,
yeah.
Which is cool. And she even called him out, like, finally coming up, about time you got here, came to see me or something.
Yeah, no flowers, nothing.
Yeah.
No car.
Well, I thought that was weird too, and I was going to talk about that. Like, there was like 2 things of flowers on the fucking little table, and that's it. Like, I feel like if a cop got shot and was in the hospital, there would be like a flood of.
Yeah, but a lot of times,
You know what I mean?
A lot of times, so you got the hospital, so you got the bed, and you got like the little table or whatever, and then over here behind you,
Yeah, they got
you could
the
have
little-
like a fucking florist, you know?
Well, I was just kind of surprised they didn't show more because I mean that was kind of a big deal. I feel like people who don't even know Kima would, like, cops would
Well,
send. You know
it's
what
funny.
I mean?
Like you think it's a big deal, never even occurred to me.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I guess it just depends.
It's just those little things, you know.
Yeah, that distract you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like
But
they're just talking. You're
things
like,
that make
where are
me-
the flowers? Where flowers?
I
I need more fucking flowers in the wire.
We should do that. Like, I should make that. Things that make Hess go,
Yeah, I don't know if you want to fucking relive all that shit. So you got bar stools and flowers. What else we
There's
got?
a lot of shit.
No, I know it's funny though what you see, what you don't see.
Right.
You know, Like I like Flower. I mean, I don't know. It's also because maybe if we watched it over again, I only watched this one time, and I'm writing the whole time, so I don't notice as much background stuff unless I'm, sometimes I'll pause it or whatever. But like unless I watch it that second time,
right?
But I don't think I'd ever noticed that there wasn't enough flowers for Kima. I mean, fuck, she's been there for a while. They could have all died. For God's sake.
Could be.
So, well, and the reasons he said you're my bitch and shit, they don't show it, but she asked him to go find Bubs. Right. So now he's sitting with Bubs. He's got the fucking $100 in his hand or whatever he promised to give her. Bubs tries to give it back and says that he only needs 20. But McNulty doesn't really take it. He's like, "You sure?" And then he just takes all the money, and then he talks about how he asks how Kima's doing. And he said, she's doing better, and like he asks how he's doing, but like Bubs isn't doing good. He's back on it. Yeah, it's obvious. So as they part ways, he's like, "Hey, McNutty, don't tell her," which she's gonna find out.
Well, yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of people were upset with this.
Yeah, but you kind of have to expect it.
Yeah.
Because he was clean for what, like 3 days, and then the following day, Kima was supposed to meet up with him, and then she got shot that night. So I don't know. We don't know exactly how long she's been in the hospital, but he.
Oh, I'm not saying it's unexpected.
No. I know, but I feel like even in the first time I watched it, I was expecting him to go back to it.
Oh yeah.
Just because he's a drug addict. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just funny how like he was ashamed. Like he.
Oh yeah.
Like he.
And then walked over and bought more drugs.
Yeah, right in front of McNulty.
Yeah.
Like, just funny how the emotions play and. It just shows you how much he cares about Kima. Like, like I don't want her to know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think it might play a part that she's in the hospital still, and he doesn't know how her spirits are. I don't know. It could be, it could not be, but yeah, it's very shitty. But
so now we go to the basement. Herc's like, it's unfucking believable. Holding the paper up. 5 guys jumped over him, one of them being Carver.
I got 4.
It's 4 and Carver.
Oh, okay.
So 5 guys total, though. And he thinks it's because of his brutality cases. He doesn't know Carver...
Yeah,
is
licking Burrow's butthole.
Yeah. Lester comes in with Chardine and gives him a little kiss.
Smiling
And then Perez walks over and is like, "Hey, this is something from a phone company from Philly." And then Carver's like looking in, and Lester just shuts the door.
Yeah. Well, I think it looked like they had like a little picnic thing. Looked like they had a little food in there, and
they had food. I don't know about a picnic.
Well, not like having a picnic, but it looked like they had some food.
They had some food, yeah.
Yeah, they probably boned.
I doubt they boned in the basement.
Why not?
Because it's the basement. So then they probably fucked before they got there.
Yeah, they probably fucked when they're there too and after.
So now we're at the FBI again. You got Lester, McNulty, and Daniels, and they said they've had a file on Clay Davis for years. Barksdale's buying up these empty houses, flipping them, making them worth a lot, and then
making more money by selling them back to the
government,
right,
who's going to build up this thing. But the reason they know where to buy is because they're greasing politicians with this drug money to know where, which areas to buy ahead of time before other people have them.
Right.
Which is, so then they're like, "Oh, does D give us the money?" And they're like, "No, D gives you Avon and Stringer."
But they want Avon and Stringer to give them money and politicians,
which they could.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna have them.
No, but that's what they want to do.
Yeah, they're like, no.
I don't know. I don't think Avon would give them Clay Davis, but it wouldn't surprise me if Stringer did.
You think?
What does he care about some politician?
Jesus fucking criminy.
When you open your smart water, you might not want to squeeze it so hard.
Motherfucker was like filled to the brim. God damn, I look like I pissed myself.
So then McNulty loses it. He's like, fuck the politicians.
Oh, yeah. Well, you knew this was coming.
And then yeah, I've seen him before.
No, but I mean, just knowing McNulty.
Yeah.
Like,
and then Daniel says, I think we're going to go in a different direction.
Thanks for your time. And I like the little jab McNulty took at Fitz there when they're walking out.
Thought you were real police, brother. Yeah.
Like, boom.
Whenever he drops a brother, it's not good. So,
yeah, because it doesn't feel like a very McNulty thing to say. Brother. Every time you say it, I think of Hulk Hogan.
Really? I don't like Hulk Hogan.
And Jerome.
I don't like he's the most Hulk Hogan I've ever had in my life because I've never been a Hulk Hogan fan, nor do I watch him. So
No, I mean I don't either. But I think it reminds me of Jerome when he's
right,
brother.
I was gonna get into what McNulty said before that, but I can't even read my whole handwriting, and then the brother threw me off. So we'll go to jail. Brianna visits D'Angelo.
Yeah.
So basically, she's there to talk him out of it.
Correct.
Which is a nice motherly thing to do.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I feel like she kind of has to, though.
She's in a spot, but it's very selfish on her part. In my opinion, she's like saving her way of life. And she has some points, like she's like, yeah, he'll take this for you. Avon would do that, which I don't believe for a second.
No.
But he'll do that, but then you got to step up and take
part.
it and take over for him. And like, there's no fucking way that's happening.
I can't remember without looking, but I can't remember what D'Angelo gets at the end.
20 years.
Yeah. So Avon gets 7.
Yeah, because D'Angelo...
And
well, they
gets
threw the book
20,
at him because he flipped. He flipped and then flipped back.
Yeah.
They don't like that shit.
He flipped, then flopped.
Yeah. He's a flipper and a flopper.
So, yeah, he kind of got a raw end of the deal here.
From day one.
And all he wanted... I mean, I kind of feel bad for him because, I mean, he wanted out. Like, he just wanted to start over.
Yeah.
You know? And,
well, and then what she says to him is, what good is starting over if you don't have a family? You don't
Right.
even have a kid.
No, you have no family in this world.
Yeah. So now we go to the basement. Everyone's getting ready for Weebay. Herc says, this motherfucker twitches, there ain't gonna be no twile. What, I just turned into Elmer fucking Fudd. There's not gonna be a twile. There'll be no trial. And then Daniels calls Carver in the office.
Oh, yeah.
And Daniels knows that Carver's the snitch, explains his and then Carver's kind of like, he brings me up for donuts, and like, he's the deputy.
Yeah, he's like,
fucking
what am I
ops.
supposed to do?
Which I kind of
It makes sense.
Yeah, I saw his side.
Yeah, I did too.
But
I also see Daniel's side.
Yeah. And then Daniels
Like,
goes,
if Carver was smart, he probably could have played both sides. Like, he probably could have went to Daniels and said, hey, Burrell wants me to fucking tell him what's going on.
I think he's too scared to do that shit, though. Because he doesn't know. I mean, he's trying to get up in the world, and, like, when you have bosses, you're telling on bosses, if you start, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
yeah, definitely. It's not ever a good thing.
He didn't know that he was going to get caught, either. He thought he was just saying some shit.
And then I like how, I don't know, were you moving on?
No.
Okay, good.
So then Daniels kind of, goes into, like, what you need
Words
to do.
of wisdom.
Yeah. If you're going to be crooked, they're going to be crooked.
Right.
You're going to have 12 guys looking up to you.
However you choose to run it is how they're going to react.
I think this is slowly where Carver turns.
Yeah, it is. I think this is like the beginning.
Yeah.
Of when he's
becomes likable.
And this is another reason Daniel's like, he could have fucking been pissed the fuck off at him. Not to say he wasn't, but I mean, he used it as a teaching moment. Like, like, what's it going to do if I just fucking go and...
Well, and also, it's not like, Carver's, it's not like they were doing illegal activity in Carver's telling him. He's just telling him, he's just giving the guy a heads up, which, he's telling another cop. I mean, So that's where Daniel says, "Is it about you or about your work?" And then Daniels goes outside and gives Perez his gun back.
Yeah.
He did not want that.
No, he was
It's
like,
kinda
but
cool.
there's a lot of shit going on in the office.
And he's like, "Be careful, though."
I heard that she got a light trigger
Yeah.
trigger pull.
So then we're at Philly. Carver walks up to a car and breaks its windows.
Tries.
Two tries.
Yeah.
Second try breaks it.
He's like, motherfucker.
I guarantee you, we walk out to our car right now, we wouldn't break it the first time. That shit's hard to do.
Yeah, but that was like the metal police baton, steel police baton.
Well, I mean, you saw
I
it.
wish we had one, and I wish we could go to like a junkyard and try it.
I mean, there's sometimes where, I mean, I've broken a windshield with my fist before, but sometimes you get lucky, and then sometimes that glass is harder than you think.
Well, I was actually reading something the other day that said car windows are specifically made to be easier broken from the inside than from the outside, so that if you're like trapped on the inside, it's supposed to be easier to get out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Carver should have got in the car.
And they said in the article that you can use your seatbelt buckle and hit the window and it should break.
Really? Why the fuck were you reading that?
Were
you bored?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus.
It came up and I
You're
was
like,
like,
hey,
oh,
this
is kind of interesting.
This looks interesting.
Yeah.
I've read all I can about the
I'm
draft.
telling you, I need to start my own things that make Hess go,
Meanwhile, they're at work going, hey, we need you over here.
Yeah. The fuck are you doing?
So Weebay comes out in his underwear, ready to fuck
he was storming out, that motherfucker.
And then like 18 cops jump on him.
And he was like, you motherfuckers.
He at one point he called them low bottom bitches. Messing with my ride.
I love Weebay. Yeah, he's like, y'all don't have to mess with my ride. Like, he was pissed.
Yeah.
They broke his window
In
his car.
He ain't gonna need that ride.
No.
So now we have
That's fucked up too, man.
We have Perlman at breakfast.
Yeah.
Talk about being cocky. If a girl can be cocky, she's pretty cocky right here.
Would she be twatty?
She could be twatty. She is twatty.
I think we
so
created a new word, twatty.
So put that on a shirt.
Twatty.
So
the female cocky.
The jail calls her, and the lawyer's giving her the podunk lawyer's giving her.
Who's that chick sitting next to her?
I wrote it down at one point. Oh, I think it's Assistant State Attorney Eileen Nathan.
Okay. Well, because she kept looking at her like...
Well, because...
oh, my God. Like, can you fucking believe this?
She's in every scene, but she never has any lines or anything. And that's the girl...
And she doesn't have a picture either, I don't think.
No, that's why I think...
Because I looked it up, and I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea who this is. I'm like, hopefully Nick will know.
I think that's her, but I wouldn't, like, bet my life on it. So finally, she's like, put the asshole on, and then Levy grabs the phone. And then he's like... hello, or whatever the fuck he says. It shows Brianna in the back, like rubbing D'Angelo's back, consoling him. So she got her fucking tentacles into him.
He's
basically.
flipped.
Yeah. So now we're in homicide. McNulty goes to see Rawls, and basically, because of all this, they got their clearance up over 40%. First time
in forever.
He says, you're a good detective and you have stones on you. I want to see.
What did he say? He goes, did you really tell the...
oh, yeah, that he's an empty suit. The FBI goes, yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah. And so, but then he's going to look out for him.
Dicks him over.
He wants to...
Where don't you want to go?
Where don't you want to go? And then McNulty just sits there because he knows this is it.
Yeah.
So now we're in court, and it's Levy meeting with Ronnie, Eileen, Nathan, and Daniels. Nothing goes to Avon except the New Jersey bust. And Weebay's lawyer's there too, but it took me a second to figure out who he was.
Yeah.
Weebay takes sole responsibility
Which is
for
weird
his
why
crimes.
he has a different lawyer.
I think it's because he's taking sole responsibility and all this stuff, make it look better.
I guess.
Basically, the cops are getting fucked here.
Yeah, Levy's basically telling him, like, you have nothing. It's not going to stick. Like,
yeah, nothing on Avon.
Nothing on Avon. Nothing on Stringer. Why they don't? And I think at some point in this, he goes, well, if you have something on Mr. Bell,
Yeah, I have that written down.
File the charges or something. But yeah, basically, Weebay's willing to take everything, and Levy knows they have nothing on Avon.
Well, it's because they're going to take care of Weebay's family.
Right.
So they got that locked down. They have no, they know that. They trust Weebay with their lives. And no charges on Stringer. So the cops were like, so you're just going to put Stringer back on the street and he's going to run the thing? We're like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, thanks for playing.
Always a step behind.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Police Department.
So now we go to the courtroom. Avon gets 7 years.
And DOC for a kilogram of heroin is what he took.
McNulty's in the court, Stringer and Brianna, and then McNulty kind of storms out.
Yeah.
And then it goes to homicide. It goes back and forth between these things and so because it's kind of wrapping up.
It is. It's starting to because it's starting to go quick here.
Yeah.
Like,
Bunk's talking to Weebay.
Yeah. He's eating
He takes Deidre Crescent, Roland Liggett, Tareen Boyd, Brandon White, John Bailey, and Orlando makes 6.
Yeah.
Life, no parole, and then basically,
he won't talk on Stringer or Avon.
Yeah, they go, what about Avon or Stringer?
Which I don't even know why they asked that question.
They go, you want to give us Avon or Stringer? He's like, nah. I wrote that down. Nah.
Like, why would they even... I mean, I guess they have to ask that question, but they knew he wasn't going to fucking talk on this.
I was like, anything else while you're here? Because, it'll come up later.
Oh, yeah, he's like, his lawyer told him, I advise you to tell him now, because if they figure it out later, they'll charge you. They can charge you for it.
I did, little man. He tells him where he's at.
He could have caught both of them,
yeah. And then he confesses to Lyles and Gant, too.
Well, yeah.
No, he does.
No, I know, but Bunk kind of saw right through that with at least Gant.
Well, yeah, but that's...
No, I know. Well,
but he confessed to it.
He told him he needed more food first.
Yeah.
Before he gave him the next ones.
So now we show Ronnie Moe in court, which I'm not really sure why we see Ronnie Moe.
Yeah,
I guess because they talked about him?
I guess.
He gets 15 years.
Yep. Ronnie Moe.
Then out of an elevator comes Major Cantrell.
Yes.
He gets the Northwest because it's opening up.
Daniels didn't get it.
Daniels did not get
Morrell put that up the old poop chute on Daniels. So I kind of fucked him, but he tells Daniels he could use a good shift lieutenant.
Yeah.
Give him a call anytime.
Daniels, I don't know what I wrote here.
Uh-oh.
Youngsters out of his ass. I have no idea what that says. Okay, so we'll go to so now court.
I have Hurt talking to 2 newbies.
Oh, that's what it was. I left out the K. I had her.
Because, see, I didn't know if that was a new scene or it kind of blended,
It was Daniels walking into narcotics or whatever. Yeah, I have her talking to youngsters. He's talking out his ass is what I put.
Telling them some bullshit is what I put.
And Daniels walks by and Daniels gets a kick out of it, though.
He kind of cracks a smile.
Yeah, I'm glad you wrote that down.
What a fucking dummy.
I wrote her, so there's your make. So that now we're in court. So Stringer and Brianna leave.
Stringer stops to give McNulty some props.
He's like, nicely done. Which was actually kind of cool.
And McNulty looked like a pouting little bitch right here. Like, he was just like...
Wow.
I mean, I get it.
He wanted to get Stringer, too.
But, like, I thought it was kind of funny because he looked like a little 4-year-old. Well, pouting because he couldn't get his cake or whatever, you know?
But it's the same thing that McNulty said to him that first episode. When he's like, nicely done.
Right.
So he's just it's payback, So now, I don't know if this next one's the pits or the towers.
It's the towers.
So
at first I did not know, but then I figured out that...
It sounds like you're reading that, but I can see you looking at me. At first I did not know.
Well, at first you didn't, but I figured out that Bodie's now running the towers because he's like looking up.
Right.
So he's like looking at the towers.
He was looking at a tower. Yeah, it took me a second.
Because at first I wrote Bodie at Terrace, and then by the end of that scene, I'm like, nope, we're at the fucking towers.
I put Bodie in charge now. If Rock being down here in 10 minutes with Maria, whip his ass.
Yeah. So he's running the towers.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Now we're wrapping this bitch up.
Thank God, because I have to piss like a donkey. I had fucking 2 cups of coffee this morning, drank a whole goddamn thing of tea, and fucking all this water.
Yeah,
but
most of that water was on your shirt.
No, I have to piss like a donkey. So
donkey.
Let's wrap that shit up.
You want to go? Let's go back to the first part of the episode where I'm just kidding.
Let's do that. I'll pee right here on your floor.
So Rawls is talking to Lester and Landsman, explaining the rules of. So this is basically where they're showing you where everybody's going.
Right, everyone's ending up. This is where I was like right in Fast and Furious. Like, oh my god, like
was it Fast and Furious 7 or 6?
It's like ding, 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 8.
8.
Yeah.
So Paul Walker's dead at this point.
Yeah, Paul Walker's no more.
Okay.
Unfortunately, God rest his soul. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Paul Walker.
They can't see you doing the signs of the cross.
Yeah.
So now, does this mean Poot's in charge of the pits?
He is, and you find that out. Yeah, because he's right there. He's running the pit. I thought we weren't done with Rawls and Lester and Landman.
Yeah, I mean, what fuck?
Okay, that's fine.
It was lame. I mean, did you write more down?
I just put Landsman kissing that ass again.
Oh, that's what we had to come back.
Well,
with.
and
you're the one that said you had to piss.
Lester's a new detective.
He's not new.
Well, he's gonna be I swear to God, I thought I saw a fucking turtle there.
Quick, motherfucking turtle!
God damn, he's fast. So yeah. Anyways, we go to the pit. It looks like Poot is in charge. He's sitting on the fucking couch eating his KFC, and then he yells over to Deke. I think is what he said.
Like, yeah, I think so.
I didn't write the he's fucking name. Up. He's running it wrong.
He's basically regurgitating what fucking D said.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, which is just awkward as fuck to see Poot in charge of anything.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Like, he's there, and he seems like he's in charge. He's by himself, but it's just like, I'm not putting Poot in charge of anything.
Well, he helped with the murder.
Except maybe,
I think that Stringer probably thought that looked good.
Yeah, maybe. So now we're back in court. Judge Phelan walks by and says, "You did good, kiddo."
Congrats. But I took that he was in a hurry and like just...
He didn't want people catching him.
Like,
yeah.
See you later.
I didn't realize that many people came to court on a single day.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big fucking court, whatever that was. I just put McNulty's not happy at all about how it went down, and that basically it's over. Dee's facing 20 years because he won't talk.
Yeah, so D'Angelo. So McNulty comes back in. What I was gonna say is that's fucked up. Stringer and Brianna left before D'Angelo even got sentenced, but then they were back in there.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe they had to pee. Maybe Stringer's fucking Brianna.
Ugh, I doubt it. Bunk comes in to talk to McNulty, explains the Weebay and the Gant thing, and that he's just trying. They realize he's just trying to.
Basically, he's gonna life without parole. He's taking everything he can just to make it look.
Yeah, he's trying to spring Bird, is what he's doing. Why not? Like, he's already going to be in there for life.
Weebay's a fucking loyal motherfucker.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, down motherfucker. Like, that's fucking crazy.
So then...
D's pissed at Avon.
Yeah.
Like, did you catch that little... The look that he gave him?
The entire fucking episode, he had that look on his face. So we get the slow motion on Avon as he nods to McNulty. I didn't know how to take that. Is he say... Because he's not like Stringer where he's like, nicely done. He's more thinking, I'm going to get you, motherfucker.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. I think it was more of like, you better watch your ass. Because I'm going to come for you. And then you got Bunk and McNulty's both say their taglines.
Yeah, so I believe it's number 6, What the Fuck Do I Do? And then Bunk responds with, You happy now, bitch? That's number 4 as far as I can remember. Then music starts playing. We got the little montage. Bubs and Johnny
back to their same old shit.
They're gonna steal some copper, but then Santangelo comes around
the street cop.
Yeah, he comes around the corner. Carver's getting his stripes.
Yeah, he got promoted.
Prez isn't doing a whole lot.
Prez just shut the lights off in the basement,
and he's like taking down the evidence.
Cleaned out everything. Kima's still in the hospital.
She's looking out the window, but she's on a walker.
Yeah, and it's funny how they showed a picture of a police car that she was watching. So I think that's just kind of like telling you, like, hey, she's coming back.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to fucking quit the fucking thing.
Lester and Bunk visit McNulty on the boat.
Yep.
Give him a little Jameson.
Give him a little send-off, a proper send-off.
And Stringer's in charge of the mortuary, or the funeral home, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Set up in the funeral home.
And they get tight on Stringer, don't they?
Yeah.
Like
Well, and then they kind of show you, at least the way I took it, that basically the Barksdale crew is up and like popping again. Like they flashed a corner,
Yeah.
and they've got Barksdale people, and then they show you Bodie in the towers, like doing whatever with his hands, like. So basically, it shows you that they got Avon, and they got D, and they got Ronnie Moe, and they got all these Weebay, but it didn't affect Barksdale's
They were like weeds just popping back up
like
again.
Barksdale's back and up and running shit again.
Yeah.
So
and that's it. Oh, I turned it off. Did something else happen?
Get the fuck out of here. I'm about to piss in this gold tea bottle. Gold Peak tea bottle.
Say that fast 3 times.
Gold Peak tea bottle. Gold Peak tea bottle. Gold Peak tea bottle.
You're supposed to say pee in this gold.
Oh, pee in this tea bottle. Pee in this tea bottle. Pee in this tea bottle.
Pee in the Gold Peak tea bottle.
Pee in the Gold Peak tea bottle.
That was not 3 times.
Pee in the Gold Peak. Pee in the Gold Peak. Pee in the Gold Peak tea bottle. Pee in the Gold Peak tea bottle. Pee in the Gold Peak tea bottle. That's pretty good right there, you know? Wow. Anyway, so...
I don't know which is funnier, the fact that you could say it or the fact that it took you that long to figure out what to say.
Well, I had to read it. So they're walking, they're kind of still flashing around, and then you hear...
Whistling.
Farmer in the Dale. Farmer in the Dell.
In the Dale.
Farmer in the Dell whistling. You see Omar's back. He's got his hoodie up. Or whatever. He's got a hood on.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out the fucking Dirty Harry gun.
That's a big fucking gun.
And just shoves it in this Mexican's face?
Probably Puerto Rican, maybe.
Puerto Rican?
Yeah.
Because he goes... at first he walks up to him and he's talking. And he goes, well, can I help you with or what you need? He goes, about 300 or 400. And the guy's like, what the fuck? And that's when he pulls the fucking big ass bitch out.
With the biggest smile in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He's and cheese.
Right in his face. And he tells him, yeah, I'll take 300 or 400 vials. You can help me with 300 or 400 vials.
Puta.
Yeah, puta. And technically, he should have called him a puto, but...
Maybe he did. But
well, because A signifies female.
I know.
Okay, I didn't know.
It might have just been me. He might have said
okay,
puto.
All right. Well, anyways, he said it,
but I mean, usually when you call someone a bitch, you're calling them a girl, anyways.
Right. Well, and then that's where you get the all in the game. That's where I got it because he says it twice right there.
I stopped right.
And I think that it just signified, like that's what West Baltimore. West Baltimore is just it's all in the game.
Was that even Baltimore? Wasn't that New York? I don't know.
Oh, he could. I don't know.
I think that was.
But
New
see,
York.
I don't know because you don't know because.
No, you don't know.
Because they're flashing around and showing all the Avon's people.
Then
they go straight to that. So.
I always took that as he was doing his shit in New York.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that. That's a good call.
That's why I thought they had a Puerto Rican, but I could be totally wrong.
No, I like that.
But that's it. That's season 1.
Season 1 in the motherfucking books.
It took a little while, but we got through it.
We did. We're still kicking.
I feel accomplished, like we did something.
Yeah. Now we have 4 more seasons to go.
But I'm even excited for season 2, and it's my least favorite season.
Yeah. Too bad we couldn't just skip it, but unfortunately we can't.
I don't want to skip it.
No, I know, but I just wish there was a way we could do it quicker. Because I like season 3. I love season 4.
Season 4 is my favorite.
Yeah. And then season 5 is
Season 5 will be quick. There's only 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's 10. But, yeah.
But yeah, so check us out on Spreaker, YouTube, Facebook,
iTunes.
Twitter, iTunes, therealpleeka.com.
Realpleeka.com will have exclusive content.
Yeah,
at some point should come out. I don't know when, but it will be out. So make sure you check out therealpleeka.com.
We're going to do commentary on the last episode. Me and you.
Are we putting our top 10 on there too, right?
Top 10 is going to be everywhere.
Okay, top 10 will be everywhere. So we're going to do our favorite top 10 characters of season 1.
That'll be its own exclusive podcast. That'll be on YouTube as a video.
So you can actually see us, and you can actually see us talking about our top 10 characters. So be sure to watch that and give us your guys' top 10, or call us out if you think we didn't
put somebody
in, or left someone out, or put somebody too high. Let's try to get some feedback going. Because I feel like I'll interact like with people, you know.
Oh yeah, I'll
I
tell
think
them
you
to fuck off if
you
they
will
tell
too.
me
So yeah, definitely make sure you watch that. And then we're also, like Nick did just say, we're going to do a commentary over this final episode as well, where we just kind of watch it and we just kind of spitball and just basically say what comes to our mind as we're talking.
Yeah.
Just a little something different. So, and then also too, you know, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to, you know, is there something that we could do to make the podcast better or make you become more interested in it? I don't know if that makes sense, because if you're listening, you are interested.
Right.
But I mean, something make it better. You know, we want to evolve, because you know this is all new to us. We've never really done this before, so it's still new to us. I know that there's plenty of people out there who make podcasts and are 100 times better than we are, but we do it because we enjoy it. We're having fun. We love The Wire, and we want to share it with other fans who are part of The Wire.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. I mean, constructive criticism, that's fine. Like if we're doing something wrong or something, if we say too much or whatever,
or I can't think of anything else.
But anyways, feel free. So like us, Pleeka. Search Pleeka. You can search Pleeka on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes. Did I say Spreaker? I did say Spreaker.
You did spray Spreaker.
Okay. Anyways, you know where to find us. Spread the word. Tell all your friends. If you know people who watch The Wire, tell them about it. Spread the word. So retweet. We tweet out a lot of stuff. Yeah, just retweet it. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Be on the lookout for those other two episode content, whatever you want to call it, our top 10 and the commentary over the final episode. So this has been Talking TV with Nick and Josh. We're wrapping up season 1. I'm Josh.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you next time.